Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, August 24th. Woo, August is flying. I don't know where it went, but it is just like out of here. The weather is amazing in Vegas. I saw something on social media yesterday that said, I can't believe we're going to have 4 straight days under 100 in Las Vegas in August. I think I'm being punked, so I'm just going to stay in the house. I thought that was the funniest post I have seen in a really, really long time. So, Sir Kaya is on his way. We're going to wait for him to get here. But in the meantime, let me tell you what's coming up. The Now Honors and the Power of Pink. Whew, it's getting close. October 3rd through the 5th at the Brendan Theaters inside the Palms Hotel and Casino. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for everybody to get together. Like I said, for me, this feels like a family reunion, and the family just keeps growing, and growing. We keep making new connections all over the country and all over the world. The women and the men in the house bring power that you've never seen under one roof. You've got real estate experts, you've got coaches, you've got multimillionaires, you've got startups that are just getting started. We are honoring someone, Connie Breeze. We're honoring her as our neon star. Why neon? Well, we're in Vegas. We're known as the Neon City. So we want to make sure we honor someone right from Las Vegas. There is so many things that are going to be going on those 3 days. The summit is happening on Thursday and Friday. The roundtable discussion is happening on Saturday, October 3rd through the 5th. We're doing a special event on Thursday night. It's always a secret the first night. You never know what we might do. The first time we did this secret event, we went to the top of the Palms to the Ghost Bar and just had a blast overlooking the city. If you want to see clips from that, go to nowhonors.com. We have clips up there for you to see that. Last year, we showed the very first movie I executive produced, Kinda Married Like. And Kinda Married Like is now on Prime, it's on Tubi. It's doing amazing out there. This year, I don't know exactly what. We haven't decided yet what we're going to do on Thursday night for the special event. But sometime during the weekend, we are going to premiere the short film that we did about Sidney Van Arnham's life called Yellowbird. So that's going to be amazing. And when we're putting a film up in a film theater, come on now, that's going to be fantastic. 43-inch or 43-foot wide screen is amazing. I think Sarkaya is coming in. I think we're going to be able to get this party started. Is my buddy out there? This guy, you want to talk about coach. This guy is a master at success. He helps you transform. But the biggest thing I see him do, besides smile and interview people on red carpets and all the amazing things that he does, is he gets you out of your own way and gets you further down the road on your road to success. Hey, Sir Kaya, are you out there?
I am here. What's up, Teresa?
What's happening, sir? How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I'm so glad you could join us today. I know your schedule is absolutely insane. So cutting out your time to hang out with me, I always appreciate it.
Absolutely. You know what? From the moment I met you, I saw a leader. You run events. You interview people. You're consistent. You're changing the world. I have a huge amount of respect for you. So just learning that had an opportunity to spend some time with you today and impart whatever knowledge and wisdom and tools for people to achieve even greater success and happiness in their life. It's just really a true honor.
It's a true honor to have you. And I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, because whenever we call, whenever I send you a message and say, hey, I'm doing blah, 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 do you have time? You always make time to be able to, stop by at an event and just spend a little time with me, or come on the show and be interviewed. And, this one is all about, we're doing 100 straight days. counting down to the now honors of the power of pink. Yeah, I know. I knew you'd
Wow,
love
that's amazing. 100 straight days. Wow.
100 straight days
Not
and
even 90
thrive.
straight days. We just thought, hey, we're going to stretch it another 10 days.
Yeah, 100 straight days, counting down to October 3rd for the Now Honors Network of Outstanding Women and the Power of Pink. And we want to connect with, people that have been honored, have been nominated, have stood on our stages, but also the people that support us and have our back. And you've always supported the entrepreneur, but you've definitely supported women that are making a difference. And I thank you for, just coming and hanging out
Yes.
with me. Why do you do that? I mean, you could just stay busy and be in your own little
Mhm.
cubby and every once in a while do a red carpet. You know, why is helping the community so important to you?
That's an amazing question. I think it really boils down to a little bit for me, I'll just straight up answer it. I want to make a difference. I don't, for me, my life, I feel like I'm led by um, my relationship with God to have an impact in the world. Um, I'm very much into transformation and change. And I know the most important person I always get to work on is myself. So I do it because I want to become the best version of myself and want to be a beacon of light for other people to become the best versions of themselves. And I think it's clear that we have a world that is, and I'm very positive and very grateful for so many amazing things in this world. The people, the diversity, the intelligence, the beauty, the kind nature. There is so much greatness in humanity, the technology, where we're going as call us a species, shall we? Where we're going, how we're exploring space, how we're doing so many great things. And then at the same time, there's a lot of challenges. And I'm sure most people would agree with that, there's a lot of not so good things happening. So there's a
Mhm.
lot of pain and suffering, unnecessary pain and suffering, whether it's um, human trafficking, child trafficking, whether it's wars, whether it's hunger, starvation, whether it's, I've been an entrepreneur. I've been a coach, success coach for Fortune 500 companies for many, many years. And I've also been a humanitarian. Worked with, actually directed and produced a documentary called Homeless in America. It's kind of when I started
Wow.
all this. And it won Best Social Documentary at the New York International Film Festival.
Nice.
And it's really exploring the plight of the homeless, and then all the different reasons why people even become homeless. And then once I started going into that, then I discovered a huge group of homeless people are actually veterans.
Yes.
Veterans that come back from war who have all these different challenges and they don't know how to deal with it, and they get on these medications, and then they, and just so then I started working with veterans who suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. So we started doing rehabilitation for veterans. So I'm a neuroscience trainer's trainer, NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming trainer's trainer, timeline therapy trainer's trainer, hypnosis trainer's trainer, and a behavioral analyst. I'm also now, or many years now, a miracle-minded coach, trained in a book called A Course in Miracles, and personally trained and certified by presidential candidate Marianne Williamson, who's my mentor. So I've taken all these things. I started working with veterans who suffer from PTSD, and obviously these things are so important for just anybody. So then we started coaching companies, individuals, whether it's leaders, entrepreneurs, influencers, salespeople, real estate, mortgage, financial services, network marketing. So we started coaching people that wanted to create greater success, and we started applying some of these same tools for people that are, that are in need and are in pain. So the women is a big part of my heart because uh, you know, I cannot even imagine what it's like, when you look at the feminine energy, Mother Earth. We don't call it planet Earth. I mean, we can call it planet Earth, but many people call it Mother Earth.
Yes.
Mother Earth
Absolutely.
is like the nurturer, right? She holds us up. She gives us the water, the air to breathe, the trees, the fruits and the berries, the food to eat. She nurtures us. She takes care of us. And the mother energy is, I think, what we are, I feel, in the pursuit of technology, in the pursuit of conquering and making things happen, this drive, this strong, powerful masculine energy. I think we are losing sight of taking care of our earth, taking care of each other, taking
Hmm.
care of our people, taking care of just everything. So you know, the whole idea that we all matter, but we have to elevate our women leaders. We have to see women as uh, as as if not, as instrumental, if not even more instrumental, as we move forward as a humanity, to make sure that we are not just living from the drive and the go get, the yang energy,
Right.
but we're also connected to the feminine, because that's the only way we need the balance of both, the yin and the yang. So uh and I have a mom, I have a sister, I have two sons, and
And I know
yeah.
you're a super dad, and I want to, before we even say anything else, as a disabled vet, as a female entrepreneur, it's amazing to look and see the people that support me and have my back. And I know you're one of them. And I want to thank you so much for doing what you do. Because, like I said, you could just be focused on the spotlight for yourself. But I know you love sharing the spotlight. And recently, in this year, I have seen you on red carpets doing interviews and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what is Sarkaya doing now? So, what got you into being a reporter for the red carpet? How did you decide to do that?
Yeah, and this is it's really, I like to say God has a plan. I think we all have a destiny that we're getting to, and things start to kind of take form, it's take shape to move us towards that destiny. Um, I've been speaking, for many years, right?
Hmm.
Coaching. And then because that has leaned me to be in front of audiences, speaking and coaching people, then I got a opportunity to host a red carpet event. I think it was a few years ago in Hollywood. And next thing you know, because I did so well, they're like, "Hey, we have an Oscar party." So then for 3 years in a row, I hosted 1,000 people event. So I was the MC and the host for 1,000 people at the Hilton Universal Studios on Oscar night. So,
Wow.
and a lot of celebrities, and then just interviewing people and bringing people on stage, giving them awards. It's funny, Tigo, you mentioned the idea of you know shining the light. You may not have referenced the word star, but you're shining the light for other people, not on
Hmm.
yourselves. And that's what a star does. A star is not there to shine the light on themselves. The star's purpose is to shine the light on other people. And one of the
Absolutely.
people that we've looked at as one of the people that does that very well is Oprah. Even though she's had some, she's had some, uh, challenges in the media with certain criticisms that you're never going to make everybody happy anyway.
Right.
But had an amazing career of shining the light on other people. And so next thing you know, I'm doing that. And what's happened recently is just kind of crazy. I'm friends with Dr. Khalila Ali, who is the former wife of Muhammad
Muhammad
Ali.
Ali.
She has
Absolutely.
she has 4 kids by him. And because I was friends with her, she was invited to a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. I was actually nominated Bill Clancy, who has refereed 150 fights, including Mike Tyson's last fight, professional
Wow.
fight. He refereed, and so she was giving an award to him for all the years and years of through President Biden, through all the work that he's done. And they said, well, you can have 3 people share a little message on a video. Who would you like to do that? Well, she thought of me, even though she's on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast, because I've been doing these Oscar parties and she's been attending those, and she sees what I've been doing with that. And so I was going to shoot a video, and they said, but wait a minute, do you want to shoot a video or do you want to fly out here? I'm like, I'll fly out there. I said, next thing you know, within 24 hours, I'm arrived in South Carolina. I'm in the front row of this huge uh, um, arena, and on my left is Riddick Bowe, who beat Evander
Yeah.
Holyfield twice.
Yep.
On my right
Yep.
is Larry Holmes, who beat obviously Muhammad Ali and some
Right.
other, and Diane, his wife, and then Dr. Khalil Ali. I'm like with heavyweight royalty, really crazy. Then what I did is like, since I'm connected to them and I know people on the West Coast in Hollywood that produce movies, I've now connected those two together. So we've actually formed a company called Hero Studios, and we're going to be releasing
Wow.
biopics on all the heavyweights. Larry Holmes has already signed on. We'll be making his movie. We're in conversation with Lennox Lewis. We've got an email from Mike Tyson's team. So many people's stories. It's not just boxers. It's people in all walks of life. I also recently connected with Paul Hutchinson, who's the executive producer of Sound of Freedom, the movie about the human trafficking, going back to those causes. And we're looking to collaborate on maybe the sequel to Sound of Freedom,
That's amazing.
which, yeah, so
And I'm a huge boxing fan. You have no idea. That was one of the things that I connected with my dad with was sports, and boxing was the big one. We would sit there and watch the greats, especially Muhammad Ali. And just I couldn't imagine sitting there ringside with that royalty. Oh my goodness, that had to be so amazing. And see,
yeah,
now I can say I know you even more because you're a
yeah,
boxing fan too. That's amazing. Oh my goodness. That's fantastic. And to put those productions together, that's my thing is
mm,
we're putting these productions together. I've been in production for over 20 years. So I know what it takes to put something of that caliber together, but when you guys get it done, whew, that's something I'll probably watch 20 or 30 times because it's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, I'm looking at the title under your name and it says Top Producers Global.
yes.
What does that mean?
So Top Producers Global is a uh, program that it's been for now over 22 years. We've been training the number one offices and the number one agents in real estate, including this number one Century 21 office in the world, Century 21 All Stars, the number one agent in the history of the Century 21 system, Marty Rodriguez. We've been training the top mortgage companies, financial services, including WFG, which is the company that Ed Milet is part of, and then also PHP, which is Patrick Bet-David's company, People Helping People, and New York Life. We trained the number one office. Actually, they became number one. They had their biggest quarter in history, and they became number one in the nation. The
Wow.
New York Life after our training, after this Top Producers Global training. And what it is top producers. It's people that, and not just that, network marketing companies like Malaluka, like Herbalife. We trained the fastest growing team with Garen Jones, who's now a huge celebrity himself, with Herba Heroes, part of Herbalife, New Skin, Malaluka, and all these other companies. And so top producers are, it's a terminology for those types of industries where people are the top 1%. So we train the top 1%. Global, because we're global. We just did our talks in London. We're going to be in Japan in March. We're taking Les Brown. We're doing an event together with Les Brown and James Dixon in Dubai, March 4th.
Wow.
Uh, Utah. I mean, it's all over the world. And our goal is to help people become the best version of themselves, as we mentioned. And in the context of those industries and those businesses, it's how can you reach your best potential? How can you get in the top 1%? You got the top producers, you got the average producers, you got the low, if not zero producers. They're not producing anything. And it's a tough thing, with constant uncertainty in the market. You talk about real estate with interest rates. First we had COVID, then we had the economy crashing, then we have interest rates, and you have constant uncertainty. And we need to help people be able to tap into their inner confidence, the mindset. So it's really three things: it's really mindset, communication skills, and taking massive action. And so what does a person need to improve? And usually we say all three of them. And when you have all three, the mindset, the communication skills, and taking massive action, when you have them all aligned, all moving in the same direction, you have power, you have influence. But when you have any one of those things that are non-alignment, what you think is worry, doubt, fear, uncertainty, which affects the level of action you take, right? Which affects the results,
Right.
or when the communication skills. What we dive into, Tigo, a lot is the personality types. So if someone wants to learn how to close business, more business, uh, by knowing and understanding people, um, then we have, actually, I'd like to give a free gift if I could, with your
Absolutely.
audience. But let me just share what it is really briefly.
Absolutely.
What we found, according to the Salesforce.com and the Galley Group, what we found is that only 18% of clients will end up doing business with someone that's in a different personality type as them. And really, there's really essentially four main different personality types. And we can send you a free gift with that, that can summarize all of that for you as well. And so only 18% of people do business with someone outside of, which means that, what is that? 88% of, no, 82%, right?
82%.
Don't. So what we've
Wow.
discovered is that instead of thinking in terms of it's a numbers game, and I just got to constantly talk to more people, talk to more people, talk to more people, which is true. I would say you are encouraged to get out there and show up for your success and pick up the phone, make those phone calls, knock on those doors. Absolutely. But the moment when you're in front of a person, it really doesn't become the numbers game anymore. It becomes the people game. And so
Right.
what we're doing is we're saying, how can you adapt? How can you shift? How can you understand who are the four personality types? What do they need? What do they want? What is their greatest fear? What is their greatest concern? What is their greatest, resistance? And how can you step into what are their values, most important? And can you speak to their values? First, how can you identify who's who instantly within 90 seconds or less? Number two, how can you speak their language? And number three, how can you influence them to get them to say yes, not because you want to make a commission or you're there to just make money, whatever, but say yes to
Mhm.
themselves. And then, of course, when when you help people get what you want, I think it's Brian Tracy, or Zig
Zig
Ziglar, one of
Ziglar.
them.
Yeah,
You help
Zig
people get
Ziglar.
what you want, you get what you want. So
Yeah.
we have a personality science that's been scientifically, it's the only scientifically validated personality science that will predict your customers' buying strategy or buying pattern within 90 seconds or less. And so what
Wow.
happens is you go from 18% all the way up to, when you're knowing now how to communicate into the listening of the different personality types. And this goes into DISC, but it goes even way beyond DISC. When you know how to communicate into the listening of the other person's personality type, your engagement and your ability to close business goes all the way up to 82%. So
Wow.
18% to 82%, big gap, big change. So if I'll give a free gift to your audience. If you,
Absolutely.
so I have that I can share with you. We also have 1%. If you want to be in a private closed group with all the top 1% that we coach and train, then you learn from us. You can network with them and learn from them too. That's a second gift. Or if you want to be invited to a free live event on us, a complimentary event, all you do is you would text. And by the value of all of that, I don't know. I say it's well over
It's
$1,000.
priceless. Yeah,
It's
it's
priceless.
priceless.
If you like
Absolutely.
it for free, all of that for free, and free today, you can just text the word top. That's TOP, the word top, TOP, to the phone number 26786. Just text the word top, TOP, to the phone number 26786. And then within about a minute or so, you'll get your free gifts. And then you'll get free gifts for up to a week. Again, just text
Wow.
the word top, TOP, to the phone number 26786.
We'll make sure we put that in the description below so people will be able to just go ahead and do that. You mentioned two legends that I tell everybody, and I've probably told you that Rita Davenport, Zig Ziglar, and Les Brown saved my life. And I had never met them. I have since met, Tom Ziegler, and he's been on the show and he's amazing. And Rita Davenport, I was able to honor. We honored her last year at the Now Honors as our Woman of the Year. I haven't met Les yet, but I'm sure I'll
Oh
meet
my
him.
gosh.
As I
I need to
haven't
hook you
met
up.
him. Oh, please, please, that would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you. But many years ago, when I thought I was going to take my own life, that was actually my
Uh,
plan that day. I found myself in the parking lot of the library and went in and told the lady I needed something to pick me up. I didn't even know what motivation was. You know, this was back in cassette tapes. And she said, well, honey, over there, people go over there and they listen to that. And I found Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, and Rita Davenport. And I
Wow.
put Zig in the tape deck and put the headset on and sat there and listened to him in the library. And then they were going to close. And the lady says, oh, we're going to close. And I didn't have a library card because I'm dyslexic. I didn't really
Mm,
go in libraries. And she said, honey, I'll let you rent it on my card, but you got to make sure you bring it back. And I said, yes, ma'am. And I went home, I started listening. And back then, you know, I got a job because I had lost everything. I had gone from 30 to
mm,
50,000 a month to zero because somebody ripped me off. And I got a job delivering pizzas just so
mm.
I could listen. And I
Wow.
listened to those three for a year.
Wow.
For a year. I could repeat them. I mean, today I could just go through it. So when you were doing the quote, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Zig. You know, I knew
That's
that.
it.
I
Yeah.
cried when he passed like he was my own dad, you know. It
Oh,
was absolutely amazing. So to sit in this room virtually or in
yeah.
person with you guys, never saw that
Yeah.
coming back in the day.
My
Never
my
saw it
mentor.
coming.
Well, yeah, that person for you was Zig Ziglar. That person for me was actually Bob Proctor.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah, huge
yeah,
fan. Huge fan.
I was, I went through a lot of challenges in my childhood. My dad was a workaholic. He was always gone. My
Wow.
mom felt very, we moved to Algeria, Northern Africa. She didn't speak the language, third world country. She didn't know anybody. She had no support system, no structure. She's now in this country with three young kids. I'm the youngest, and my dad's just gone, space cadet, we used to call him. And so,
Wow.
sometimes gone weeks, months at a time, and she's frustrated, she's angry, and she just has no one to talk to. So what do? Very few things you can do to cope with stress, and you start to drink, right? And so, the innocent drinking just to cope with her stress she turned into an alcoholic. So we went through a lot of, uh, uh, gnarly things at a very young age. And so I survived those times, in the dark times in my childhood. And I get into my 20s and 30s, and I don't know who I am. I have no confidence, no self-worth, no self-esteem. And I used to stutter. I didn't even know I had
I stuttered.
yeah, I didn't even know how to
I
stutter.
stuttered.
I was just in my head, always so insecure. Yeah,
Yep.
that's amazing to go. And then someone said, "Have you seen The Secret?" And I'm like, "What's The Secret?" And like, "Oh, it's this movie." And I don't care about that. Delete that. I don't care. And then it just kept coming up and coming up. And I'm like, what is this secret? Everyone keeps talking about this freaking thing called The Secret.
I
Is it
know.
a
I heard
movie?
it
I'm
too.
thinking I'm going to see a Will Smith movie or something. So I go rent the movie. And then, and the first thing I see is this tall, skinny white guy who turns out to be Bob Proctor. And I'm like, this ain't a freaking movie. What is this guy talking about?
Right.
The law of attraction. This just, and I started getting annoyed because he's saying whatever you think about, gratitude and bring it in, and you have teacher, and I'm like, this is so full of crap. This that you don't know my life. You haven't lived my life. You didn't have the dysfunction. I went through a lot of abuse, all forms of abuse for a young age, because unfortunately my dad entrusted the wrong people because he was gone a
Mm.
lot. So he thought he needed to get male caretakers to kind of keep us safe in a third world country. And unfortunately, he hired people that were mentally ill, people to
Wow.
take care of us that did a lot of very gnarly things. So I'm like, this is such a full of crap movie, because you're telling me, like, you're trying to tell me that I can create my life by design, by this positive thinking. You didn't live my life. You weren't there. You didn't, and I'm so angry. But at the same time as I'm angry, something's happening inside my body, and I don't even realize it, but I'm having this little funny sensation in my chest. Next thing you know, it was weird because I felt like my arms felt tingly. I felt like my hair was sticking up. I felt like my hair was, and I'm like, I don't even know what that was. Am I having a
Right.
physical reaction to the message he's sharing? What I've discovered many years later is I was having a breakthrough. And this little silent voice, that's why the Course in Miracles says, the first that speaks in your head and that speaks the loudest is the voice of the ego. But the
Mm-hmm.
second voice in your head that speaks second and speaks softer like a whisper is the Holy Spirit. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
if someone's not, a Christian or not even religious, you might be even watching this atheist, it doesn't even matter. It's that internal voice of wisdom, whatever name we want to give to it. If we want to call it the universe, God, source, love, Jesus, Buddha, Allah, whatever a person believes, I truly believe we have an internal wisdom that taps us into something greater than our present circumstances. And this little voice says, what if he's right? What if he's right, Kaya? What if what your perception of yourself and your reality and the tough things that you're going through, what if that's all wrong? And what if Bob's right? Listen. So yeah, and that's kind of where I got my start. I
That's
watched the movie through,
wild.
and I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if we're not victims of our circumstances? What if we can change at any moment? What if based on the mindset that I choose, that I can alter my trajectory of my life? What if, and then I started going, what if, like possibilities. And then I end up meeting Bob, end up, sharing the stage with, I went through the coaching and I still was stuttering, but there was something like a magnet pulling me. And then one day I shared the stage with him, and then he got me on the journey of my whole personal growth started from there. And then I got involved in learning neuroscience. Uh, I'm ashamed to kind of admit it, but I know that this is what I was going through. At that time I was in such a dark hole. I was myself drinking vodka like it was water because I was trying to numb
Mm.
my own. I was doing drugs on weekends, recreational thing, because I was in so much pain. I was searching for something to get me out of my pain and my suffering. So it was in a very dark place when I met him, and from there he was the catalyst to me starting to study about personal growth and self-development. And then I studied timeline therapy. I went through a lot of healing, letting go. And it's crazy. I ended up replacing all those things, whether it's alcohol, whether it's, the drugs that I was taking at the time. I ended up replacing that with personal growth. So personal growth became my new drug.
Yeah, me
and
too.
then, and since then,
Absolutely, me too.
since then I've been, sober for now 20 years. And
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
yeah, I don't have any. Yeah. And it's just totally changed my life.
You're talking about The Secret. I was the same way. It's like, what the heck is that? I
Mm,
would even tell people, how big of a secret could it be if everybody's talking about it? You know?
right.
And now this year at the Now, October 3rd through the 5th, this year, we're honoring Marie Diamond and Laura
Oh,
Wagmeyer.
Ray Diamond.
It's
Ray
like,
Diamond's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, come on, to come that full circle. And 20, 30 years ago, when I was at my darkest time in 1995, and I thought I wasn't even going to be here, to come around and motivation, inspiration, just getting involved in that whole you know, self survival for me, and then learning about The Secret later on and everything. That's what got me here. And now I get to speak with people like you, and we hang out, and and it's absolutely amazing. I know I asked you for 20 minutes of your time. I looked at the clock and went, oh my goodness, we're over. But me and us, whenever we get together, we can talk all day. You are absolutely amazing. Is there anything coming up you want to make sure you share before we close out today?
Absolutely. We have multiple events, free events that you can attend to learn or to become the best version of yourself. So, our program, Top Producers Global, if you send a message that text the word top again to the phone number 26786, you can you'll get an invite to some free live events that we have. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook. There's a part of the message that you got here today that you really resonate with, and you want to learn even quicker how to get plugged into our events. We do have one on September 6th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, that you can attend on Zoom. So September
Nice.
6th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then we have another one that's on Zoom, and we have another one on September 9th. I think those are the dates. I have to look at my calendar, but we have some ones coming up. We also, so Top Producers Global is one of them. Someone may also want to learn how to help people get results. So we also offer for speakers, for authors, for coaches, for leaders, for managers, how to help people get results. So kind of doing what I do, but maybe in your own way. So we offer certifications in neuroscience, neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, hypnosis, behavioral analysis. We offer all those types of certifications. We have a program called Superhuman today. That's a whole other story that we don't have time to go into today, but basically I almost died in 2014. So I had to redo everything about my health. Now I'm the best fit shape I've ever been in my life. Superhuman today is a program where you can learn how to live longer, stronger, healthier, and happier by following a set of habits. And we all wake up at 5 a.m. We're all up at 5:30 a.m. doing these healthy habits before you get out in the world and you do your work. So those are our programs. I would love to see you if you're on one of these days.
Oh, yes, sir. I will make sure I'm on. I will make sure I'm on. And you and I have been talking for over a year. We've mentioned we got to start sharing some stages together. And
Yes.
when we get offline, I'll reach out to you because we've got some amazing events coming up for 2025. And I'd love to share a stage with you. The message that you bring and just the energy you bring to the room is amazing, and I got to thank you again for coming and hanging out with me, well over the time I asked for. I apologize for holding you, but
No, I
the
mean, hey, I
message
was
you
like,
give
hey,
is
let's
amazing.
extend it even longer. Let's go.
You're absolutely amazing. I can't wait till we hang out again and share a red carpet. And yes, let's do some stage stuff together because your message is so powerful. And it's just every time we talk, we have so many ways that we connect, especially NLP and, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, going down the list. It's like we were on a parallel track or something at the same time. I can't wait to hang out with you again. You are the best.
Oh, Tigo, you are amazing. The 100 days, congratulations. You do such incredible things for so many people. You're a consummate voice of possibility and transformation, and you're a huge, huge giver. So I'm all in. And I know that your audience loves you and appreciates so much. So on behalf of all of us, myself and your entire audience, we thank you for the great work that you're doing in the world, and just we're excited to see even more great things to come from you. And yes, I would love to work with you on all those things too.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. All right, everybody. Yeah, I know we went a little long, but look at the information he gave. Oh my goodness. In the body right below me, you will see where you text top to 28736 to get all that information. Text top to 28736. It was a lot of information. It was a lot of great information. I love it when Sir Kaya comes and hangs out. You never know what he's going to share. And when you're reaching to the top, as Zig Ziglar would say, we'll see you on the top because that's exactly where we're going.